What, Max?
I
Did
found
you get
my
an idea?
media.
Good for you.
I know, I'm very happy about that.
A minute before we're meant to start. That's, hey.
That is...
that counts.
I'm going with... Yeah, I'm going with a musician.
Okay, okay. You're going... Oh, great. What about you, David? Do you also have a YouTube channel as your media? Do we go 3 for 3?
Yeah, you know what? I do have a YouTube channel that I could have as my media. So definitely, yeah.
Oh my God! People in the audience who are fans of us talking about YouTube channels as our media will have a field trip with today's episode. Hello and welcome to the AWKWARDCast, where I and Keyframe wonder about random drivel, and today about YouTube channels.
Well, not yet. Not yet. We still have...
Not yet. But we're getting there.
Speaking of YouTube channels, we got hit YouTuber.
What?
A new guest, even too, all the way from Australia.
What? From Australia?
I'm from the land down under. Hello.
Hello.
And we didn't even have to change our time for him.
Oh,
he was like, no. I don't mind waking up at 5 a.m. to be on this show.
It's actually very noble. I wasn't aware that you're from Australia. And yeah, the last time we had Australian folks on here, we needed to do some acrobatics with the time of the stream. But hey, double thank you. But now...
Yeah, no, that's fine. I mean, I like, honestly, I'm up at this time anyway for like the British folk I work for, so it was nothing for me.
But yeah, now that we know already the most crucial part about you, namely that you are from Australia, please do tell us beyond that, who are you, what do you do, and why should people care?
Alrighty. Yeah, my name's David Calevroy, overcomplicated, but people call me David or David Toons otherwise. I am a freelance animator based in Australia, and I work for just a number of YouTubers, mostly being like fellas at Ed's World, as like animator and social manager. I also animate for people like the Amazing, DA Games, and just wherever I can really get some jobs here and there.
If he could get paid for it, he will do it.
That's so true. I love free exposure as well. Roblox channels, hit me up.
You're not getting paid here.
No, absolutely not. So I will get those V-Bucks still, right? Like that's an agreement.
Oh yeah, no.
I'll
get you the V-Bucks. So you just guys send me your Epic Games password.
Fantastic. Yep, I just got it. All A's. Okay, thanks.
Okay, don't worry about the follow-up. We are going to call you.
Fabulous. Yeah, but other than that, like, I mean, what else is there to say? I animate the toons, and there's my channel right there. I make Pokemon videos when I'm not freelancing, or when I am freelancing and I need a break.
I mean, if anyone's ever seen the great cartoon of Quaxley from Scarlet and Violet doing a little dance, that was this guy who made it.
Wait, which one?
It's the POV. You chose a starter, but you also take Quaxley.
Ah, okay. Let's. Oh, too loud. Okay, there we did.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, not that one. You just picked. You didn't choose Quaxley.
Oh, I mean, in my defense, those titles are relatively similar. Okay.
Oh yeah, no, it's for the algorithm. Totally.
In my defense, I'm an idiot.
No, I mean that series amazingly blew up during the first Pokemon Direct, and I was like, I've got to make as many videos as I can out of fun, obviously, but also...
You're also the CEO of Owen Mug, the weird joke, I think.
Yes, I was going to grab my Owen Mug, but I don't have it on me, but I am the CEO.
For people who don't know, it's just a mug with Lucario on it.
It's more than that, but honestly, it was an eBay product that my server found, because I mean, they're all Pokemon fans in my community, and they were like, oh, the Pokemon Center, like the store doesn't have any like as much Lucario merch, like a mug. And then one day I just found it on eBay, and we made a whole meme out of it.
Does it have the name Owen on
yeah,
it?
It like on the eBay listing,
it was monogrammed just... Pokemon Center mug with Lucario on it that just says Owen.
It was a PNG of a mug with like, it was a PNG of a mug. On top of it was like this really bad PNG of Lucario, and then like this Pokemon-esque font that just says Owen next to it. It's meant to be like a customize your name thing. And I'm pretty sure, like, since the meme had started, the eBay listing also got taken down. So you cannot buy the original anymore. And I'm sitting like, is that because of me?
Oh no, did I mean
too many Owen mugs. They had too many orders.
I overwhelmed them. I killed them with kindness.
You are too powerful.
I have the higher ground.
But yeah, besides beating down Owen Mug into submission, what have you been doing recently? Have you slain any dragons, rescued any damsels?
Oh, you know, it's crazy, the animator life. We do that, we just do that on a daily, but I guess what's been happening in my life more so is, well, I'm about to hit a 1-year anniversary since I kind of quit my regular job and started taking on freelancing full-time, which is insane to me that we're already past halfway throughout the year.
Don't mind me.
But yeah, I know. But otherwise, yeah, I'm a workaholic, and I've just been working on at the moment, I guess, kind of starting on streaming again, etc. But taking on again any freelance work that gives money.
Oh man. But yeah, nothing else. I mean, you said during the pre-show you were getting back to exercising. So what are you? Are you trying to be like that Chad meme with the black and white muscly guy in the picture?
Oh, that's absolutely my intention. I plan to be in the US with just, you know, full Chad look. No, I mean back in 2019, that was when I actually started to like exercise and lose weight, because that was the year that I moved out of home, I started college, and I had all these things going on, and then I don't know if you guys have heard of the pandemic, but that happened in 2020.
What pandemic? I don't know.
I mean
2020.
Is that a
is that a flu?
Like
it's crazy. But I guess that kind of put everything on pause. But I guess in an opposite sense, 2020 was kind of when my freelance career really kicked up, so I didn't have time for exercising or really even college. But yeah, I guess now, like, kind of getting halfway into 2022, I want to be in the US or UK by next year, because conventions just seem fun and Australia's kind of boring, and my goal is
everything's trying to kill you.
Yeah, you know, everything's trying to kill me. But yeah, I guess, like, before I go overseas, I want to make sure that I'm healthy. So,
that is a fair goal. That is a fair goal. Speaking of things wanting to kill you, so I found a Reddit the other day, and follow me on this. The Reddit has an interesting name. It's called r/scary toilets. And it's basically pictures of toilets with threatening auras. So, you know, things that just, bathrooms should not be designed this way. And there was one from Australia that was just, the bathroom was just a singular toilet in an old room, and right above the toilet was a giant wasp nest. And when I looked at the post, and I was like, oh, this is already like challenge pissing, like this is terrifying. I saw the caption and I was like, oh, this is in fucking Australia. And it's like, of course it is. This can only be Florida or Australia where someone would let a wasp nest get this big in their bathroom.
Oh yeah, you know, it's just Australia tradition here, I guess. You know, you gotta add a challenge to everything here in Down Under. But yeah. I love that stereotype of Australia, that it's like, oh, it's just like you could get killed at any minute, because I live in I guess I live on the eastern beaches. So like the only thing you'll really see here is probably like, I don't know, like a daddy long leg spider, but that's like about it. But everyone's like, that is the most terrifying thing I've ever heard of. It's like, they are so friendly. They don't bite.
I mean, at least you're not on that one part that has those like really big crabs that will just start walking along the beach.
Yeah.
They may be coconut crabs. I don't know. I don't know if they're the ones that saw Amelia Earhart and it was like, ooh, a snake.
Those crabs be sneaky, you know, stealing wallets and stuff on the beaches. It's a real issue.
Wait till they learn what knives are.
We have seen the memes.
I know, but they don't know what they are. They're just like, oh, this is a thing that I can grab with my little grabbies. But when they realize that they are actually a threatening item, they'll be like, evolution.
That's what I mean, like, no?
That's a way to get people to aquariums and zoos. Like, there's one exhibit that's crab. The other one is crab with knife, and you just have a crab with a knife duct taped to him. Just like...
all right.
I mean, I remember when Max was visiting, we went to the Aquarium of the Pacific, and they had spider crabs there, which if you've never seen, they're terrifying. They're these crabs with these super long legs, and we're walking by, and one of them is just kind of against the corner of the tank, so it's kind of like peeking over with its long-ass arm, and it's just like, I'm pretty sure that's how Woody felt when he saw the one toy in Sid's room with the baby head on the little. It's like
I mean, speaking of crabs, I remember like I used to live temporarily. Oh, not temporarily. Like I used to live on an island. And whenever we would try fishing, all we could grab is like crabs. Like we tried grabbing fish, but every time it was just crabs. We'd be like, "My God, we don't want crabs," and they just keep coming back. It's like, my dude,
why can't you be fish? I don't want crab.
Yeet!
Yeet! No, that just makes them multiply. They'll land in the water, and they'll be like, "Well, now it's a challenge.
Now it's time to evolve, boys."
Now it's time to multiply.
Oh my God.
Oh, Crabtron, form! But yeah, so if that's all that's been going on with you, anything interesting happening in the life of Max?
I dare to say a little bit did happen. Yes, indeed.
Hooray!
Yes, so besides, of course, 3 Idiots yesterday, where we finally reached the stunning conclusion of our all Disney animated movies battle bracket.
Oh yeah, so 3 months of work, and hey, a worthy winner came out of it.
A very worthy winner. I'm very happy with it. As I said,
this is the second time one of your favorite movies from a studio became the winner, because I know that Megamind's also one of your favorites from DreamWorks. So.
Yeah, but yeah,
film.
Yeah. But yeah, unlike previous movie battle brackets, where I'm not even sure if we were happy with all the winners, but even with the runner-ups, we were like looking back at the brackets. It was like, how could we let this happen? But yesterday we looked at the final outcome, saw which movie got kicked out, and except for some tiny nitpicking here and there, like having Atlantis overtake Treasure Planet, stuff like that. Overall, it looked very solid, very much like, yeah.
Hey,
we
no,
did
I'm
good.
in the camp that Atlantis deserves to take over Treasure Planet. Atlantis is better than Treasure Planet. I love both.
Obviously, it won because out of 3 people, the other 2 needed to vote for Atlantis. Otherwise, Treasure Planet would have won.
I mean, I know. I'm just making it clear where my opinion lies.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I still lost, even though I had a very airtight argument with stating how many hot characters are in Atlantis, more than the usual Disney movie.
What did it lose against again?
It lost against
Hercules. Last time. Oh, right. That makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, and it was like...
David is just sitting there like, nah.
The singularity.
Hard characters matter. That's all I can say.
Look, I'm just saying. You got Milo. You got Sweets. You got Kita. Kita is one of the hottest Disney women. Like, come on. If you put her and Meg together, you'll get the hottest movie. So
It's true. time to make the official Disney harem show, like anime harem style. It's still PG, all are teenagers in high school, the usual, you know.
Sorry, I just started thinking. There's this one like fan animation that went the rounds a few months ago with Milo from Atlantis and Tarzan, and it's animated really well. And it turned out it was a porn, and it was.
Oh. Yeah,
you know it, right? Where it just has Milo being like, "Let me introduce you to the world of gay sex." And it's just I wonder. I'm gonna find it without the dicks in it because it's very gay. But I need to show the welcome to the world.
Well, while you are looking that up.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but otherwise, this week, another fun thing was on Wednesday. It's very significant. I mean, this is explaining why there was no gaming in Thai, so it actually is significant for you guys watching. David is probably like, what the fuck is gaming in Thai? No, but so from a company thing, we had to go to an escape room. We had to go, yeah? I want to hear. It was in the context of a training thing, so it was only me and a handful of other people. It was a very curious one, as in like different from the usual escape room, where it's like, no, you have a very static setup, you have mechanisms and keys and whatnot.
By the way, I found it.
Yep, I saw. I will share it with the world in a moment, trusting you that it's safe
I
for
watched
stream.
through. No, I watched through it. The other one that I found basically had to do a pixelation of Tarzan's penis, and I don't trust that one.
So, is this video safe or not? That's the question.
No, this one is set. This one's safe, but it's also just weird how well animated it is. Like,
There's my pen.
It really is, because I didn't know that was just a parody animation. I really thought that was legit and someone just edited the voices.
no, it's real. And I looked up the full animation once because I was like, I gotta see what the source of this meme is. It's just so much gay porn. And their dicks are so big.
That is incredible, and that makes that clip so much better in context. Oh my god.
Oh well. But
Sorry,
yeah,
continue talking about your escape room.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
sorry, Maxie.
But yeah, normal escape room, you have puzzles that technically you can all solve within the room. Some have electronic gimmicks, when you have magnets in point A, door at point B suddenly open, stuff like that. This one was different. It was, and afterwards they explained that it was more of an interactive experience. So the game masters, instead of watching the people and sometimes giving pity tips and pointers when they feel that people are stuck.
Hi, Paleo. Sorry you came in on the dicks are so big.
Hi, Paleo. But yeah, in this case it was like the game masters were highly involved. They were like, you needed to do things as a group. And they were only triggering events manually, like the game masters, when you did the right thing that was expected of you. So it took the normal limitations of an escape room, namely that you need to interact with items in the room, but in a very mechanical way. You needed to really get more, you actually needed to be more immersed, you needed to role play a little bit more. We were ghost hunters, and one of the first tasks is like, to summon the room, to summon the ghost, is like, everybody hold your hands and say the name of the ghost 3 times backwards. And when you do it, it actually triggers something. But of course not automatically, because there's a game host looking, are they doing it? And when they do it, he pushes a button. In a normal escape room, that would not be a possible thing. But yeah, therefore a lot more interactive. So the puzzles themselves were a lot less escape roomy, because it was more like playing along, which was, for somebody who has already done a bunch of escape rooms, it was a very curious pace of change. I personally still favorize the more traditional escape room, but the new ones are also great. So to freshen things up, I'm completely in favor of them becoming a thing, as long as they don't completely overtake traditional escape rooms, which I don't think they will, because it requires a lot more people involvement, like as a game master.
About the game master being around makes me think. Remember the virtual reality escape room we
Oh,
went to Berlin?
the Star Wars. That one. Oh, I thought you meant the Star Wars one, which was not an escape room. This was just a simulation.
So like this one must have been like 2018, maybe. I was visiting, and I found a virtual reality escape room in Berlin, and so we have like the headsets on, everything is there. And the game master, the person who gives us hints if we can't find it, this guy was the greatest sport of all time, because I kept making like jabs towards him, and we would just see text appear out of thin air, just making fun of me right back, and it was great. I hope he's doing well. I miss him. It just gives me that energy. That sounds like fun though.
I am yet to still do any sort of escape room kind of stuff. Like, I guess my only experience with it was, so my friend Mel is very much into like VR chat. So she was just like, there's this escape room, and I remember we spent like maybe 3 hours or so just like on VR chat figuring out stuff. It was like probably like 2 o'clock in the morning. We were just like, there were so many puzzles we couldn't figure out. We're just like, what's going on? Like, we couldn't stop.
Your escape room is leaving Australia.
Yeah. Yes. Every day it's an escape room, and I keep finding keys. I found this pen. That might be a hint towards something.
It's true.
You know?
It's true.
It may be. Look, sometimes escape rooms are hard. We did one in Sicily where we thought that we achieved it, and then we opened a door, and then there was a whole other room of puzzles.
I mean, that was just pretty much my experience on VR, because like after like the first hour or two, we're like, oh, is it finally over? It's like, no, you guys are going to a whole new location. It was like, oh no.
Sorry.
Oh no.
Also, I personally love that from apparently this entire project, only 3 seconds are safe to show on YouTube, because everything beyond that apparently is already...
Oh, yeah. Well, so much of it is just you see Tarzan's penis all the time through the cloth, and like it is not my type of thing.
But what's worse about it is that it tricked me, which means it would have tricked so many others, like that 3-second clip.
It's so well animated, and that's all this guy does is just animate Disney guys fucking. That's his job.
Honestly, it's a based career. Like, I want to sit at a table with this guy and just like ask him the one simple question and see how he explains it. What do you do for a living? You know,
knowing
Welcome
very well
to the
what
fantastic world of gay sex.
Exactly. So you actually know what he does, but you're not telling him. So he is at a situation where he's like, okay, so.
I would like it even more if they were like just so on the nose about it. They're like, oh, so well, I make money from the internet, from people who want to watch Milo from Atlantis and Tarzan from Tarzan have intercourse.
Okay, I was with you until the very last word.
So let me explain. I gave them giant penises, and they are having gay sex with each other
when you're
for
saying
multiple minutes.
When you are saying penises.
I am meaning genitals. Their genitals are exposed, erect, and ready to party.
Talking about those family-friendly, iconic Disney characters. Yes. Correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. I took those characters and I have them committing coitus on each other. They only want to do the horizontal tango.
Okay, I get you. But I mean, is there maybe any way for interpretation for what is the project called again?
It's called Tarzan and Milo Get It On.
I see.
In parentheses, they are having sexual congress.
I see.
It's like,
in double
so it's for
brackets,
Disney? Oh, no.
No. It's very avant-garde. I just got back. What are you guys talking about? Welcome to the fantastic world of gay sex.
Oh, no.
Well, that escalated quickly. So, what's going on in your life, Keyframe? I had my one highlight this week.
I don't want to do the rule of three and be like, welcome to the fantastic world, because that's not happening. Well, okay. God damn it. Okay, so, what's happening in my life? Well, I've basically streamed for 3 days now, if you count Awkward as a stream. Because we did 3 Idiots on Saturday. What are you laughing about that I don't count Awkward as a stream? I'm not the one running OBS.
Yeah, but you still have to be on camera and all the stuff. The stuffiness.
Yeah, but no, because we did 3 Idiots on Saturday. We did the Disney brackets. It was great fun. It was hilarious. And then the day before, I actually did a stream with good old Derek, good old salty DK Dan, where we watched through like most of the bumpers from Cartoon Network's early days in CN City, which for people who didn't grow up with that stuff, essentially like a big part of Cartoon Network's branding was that all the Cartoon Network characters and thus Hanna-Barbera characters and stuff like that would interact with each other. Like they were in a shared universe. So like back in like the late 90s and stuff, they would be in a studio together, like just working at a studio. And then in like the mid 2000s, there was just an entire city. Like they rendered a CGI city and all these 2D characters are just hanging around in it. And, I'm making a video talking about it because I feel like that's very unique branding that is so integral to Cartoon Network that they don't really use anymore. And it's sad because if it wasn't for that branding, you wouldn't have stuff like Adult Swim and things like that because the whole origin of Adult Swim was repurposing old cartoons.
Yeah.
So me and Derek just watched through them and like just realized how much of it is just like really chill vibes and establishing shots and just enjoying the world and really liking when you would just have like Scooby-Doo with Blue from Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends just hanging out with each other, just being bros and being dudes. And I really, really enjoyed it. There was a part where Derek kept bringing up this one image he found of the old man from Courage the Cowardly Dog lying on a bed naked. So that was a big portion of it. We also noticed that there were there were a few of those shorts where it's just like, what is happening? This is disturbing. Because there's one promo I found.
By any chance related to the Art of the Week?
No, that's just a CN City promo where there's no music or anything, and you just see Tom's tail twitching in an open oven, and then it goes limp. But that's not the one. There's a promo that people thought was fake for a while, but it's not. It was basically people human trafficking cartoon characters. So there's like these 2 guys like going up to a car, and the guy's like, "Hey, I got some Toons in the back if you want them." And he opens up the trunk and you just see the 3 Eds from Ed, Ed, and Eddie in the trunk. Be like, "Hey, man." And then another car passes by. It's like, "Yo, I got Judy Jetson. I'll give you a deal on Fred Flintstone and Barney." Like selling them like prostitutes. And then, all the characters are like turning towards that car. And then the Eds are running out of the trunk, and you just hear Eddie going, "Run, Double D!" Like, super scared. These are children. And then, like, everyone's just like, "Oh, damn it." Like, they don't say damn it, but, the energy's there. Then they go to the other car, and they're like, "We got Hong Kong Phooey?" It's just like, no, we are not letting this by that in this world, human trafficking exists for cartoon characters.
I'm pretty sure I joined the stream, like your stream with Derek, around that time, with the human trafficking. I was like, holy shit, I do not remember this.
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
was
god.
just I mean I remember a similar bumper that was around that had the same like human people where it was the Powerpuff Girls just landed in someone's backyard because they were fighting. They're like, are you okay? They're like, yeah, we're fine, then flies away. I don't remember the human trafficking one. And then there was another one that was also really weird, which was like Wile E. Coyote in a police station. And, you know, there's like the police lineup where you have to pick who's the perpetrator. And he purposely picked not the Roadrunner. And the detective is like, you know, he's just going to go out there and do it again. And then Wile E. Coyote just looks at him really sadly and then walks out of the room. And the short just ends with the detective being like, why do I do this? It's like... Why is this a Cartoon Network bumper? I just feel sad.
It's fantastic, and I think you got a good point there. It's like Cartoon Network, because I remember Cartoon Network distinctly, like introducing that sort of like shorts where it's like, you know, they brought all these characters together in like a real life kind of situation. It's like I feel like those are the most reeling, and you know, if it can get people talking about it, I mean, I guess it worked. So
yeah. I mean, I personally, I really love so many of them, and a lot of them are like, you know, very integral in my mind for how I perceive the network and what it was, which is especially like the city bumpers, which is very interesting because they only lasted for 2 years, and that's my immediate mental association is those 2 years of bumpers. It makes you think they lasted longer. And I think it also just became very prevalent in my mind because, you know, crossover content is becoming such a big thing where everything is crossed over and shared universe with each other. This was the first multiverse of madness. This was my multiverse, my No Way Home.
I did see one recently on Twitter with Velma, like, kind of being like, hey guys, we're all weird, you know, we don't need to make fun of each other, and then there was just a food fight, and like, that one killed me.
Oh, the thing is, the version of that going around on Twitter doesn't have the beginning of it, which just has a guy being racist to sheep from Sheep in the Big City.
I saw that.
Which is just a sheep, and he's like getting lunch because it's in like a cafeteria in the studio, and the human's just like, stick to your own kind. It's like, what the fuck? Like so many of the shorts where it was like a live action studio with the cartoon characters was just the humans not liking the cartoons' presence at all. There's like multiple shorts with the Super Friends just annoying the shit out of this one specific person on an airplane and at the airport and like at a movie theater. But you can watch them all on YouTube. They're fantastic. Me and Derek had a great time, and we're probably going to go and watch like the Cartoon Network Groovies and like the Blair Witch Project parody that they did back in the day that they aired between commercials. This was a thing, and it's a really good Blair Witch Project parody. And the Scooby Gang die at the end. Fucking early Cartoon Network was off its shit, man.
Loved it.
Being ragged on by the store owner for breaking the clothing rule. Yeah, that one's really good too. But yeah, so my week was basically just doing those streams because everything else was working or cleaning my office or prepping stuff to work on for the Euroferns art show.
Euroferns!
Euroferns! I did not wear the Eurofern shirt today.
Nope, I was like, okay, we are doing a countdown every week, a Eurofern shirt.
And then, was there anything else? No, not really. I've been rewatching like just the same 2 seasons of Tuca and Birdie on HBO Max and Aqua Teen Hunger Force and like and the channel I'm going to talk about, because when I'm working, I don't tend to watch new things. I tend to just go back to older stuff and then laugh my ass off because, you know, of course I do. Tuca and Birdie season 3 is really good if people have not watched it yet. I mean, Tuca and Birdie's never been a bad show.
True.
Adult Swim did the right thing, taking it from Netflix's dirty claws.
Yeah.
Toucan Birdie's also better than the new season of Harley Quinn. Just saying. At least so
I mean,
far.
it's not that difficult.
Oh, I mean,
Harley Quinn was losing me throughout season 2 already, and season 3 is...
Look, I will say this. I've had the same conversation with my friend Gerber and stuff. The problem with the show Harley Quinn is Harley Quinn. Most of the other characters are perfectly good. And then Harley Quinn is there.
The problem is that literally every character besides maybe Poison Ivy is comic relief. There's too much comic relief. What do you relieve the comedy from?
True. But I don't know. I just like it's the Star versus thing where I like every character besides the title character. But maybe I don't have as much of a problem with there being so many comedy characters with no straight man, because so many of the shows I watch, everyone is kind of a little bit of an unhinged person. Example, Aqua Teen Hunger Force, where everyone's a little bit of a psychopath. And I may have been rewatching it because they released a teaser for the new movie recently. And that's gonna be interesting. That is a show that just won't die, and I'm happy it's not able to die.
Damn.
I love my unhinged fast food products, but that's not my media. So I guess we can move on to media, because I literally had nothing else in my week.
And yeah, I guess why we are at the topic, Art of the Week, in reference to the aforementioned stream.
Yes.
By Doc Holiday.
Yeah, there was a lot of good art that people made for the Cartoon Network stream. A lot of people drawing me and Derek with that limited Cartoon Network color palette, which is such a fun art challenge to do. If you need an art challenge, just draw in the Cartoon Network colors, which is black, white, yellow, blue, and pink.
Yeah, I've been wanting to do that myself. I've recently had to do that for I recently released merch, but I was kind of having issues with the final line work, because I was like, how do I draw this? And I was talking with some of my friends, and they were like, generally adding shading and detail is not the way to go. That you could make something really great out of only a few colors, like a 4-color palette kind of thing. And then I'll show examples of already play stuff. So it's a fun challenge. I've got to try that cartoon.
Yeah, now you have officially been challenged, since Key just announced it as a challenge.
Yeah, I challenge you.
Yeah. Well, you better get on
accepted. Yeah, right now.
Yes, please. No time like the present. In the meantime, why don't you also tell us about your media?
Yeah,
so I believe...
No, go ahead, David. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to say, so our theme then is YouTubers, correct?
Not really, but I mean, it's if you have a YouTube channel you want to talk about, please go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, sure. So I guess my media of the week is a Australian YouTuber musician named Tom Cardy. He is this... how do I best describe it? He just makes really good tunes out of things that are just kind of pet peeves of his.
I love Tom Cardy stuff. I've been listening to his Santa Claus song that he made a few months ago.
Yeah.
I put him in the he is.
Isn't this a media that you wanted to do first before you changed it?
Well, yeah, but now I changed it. But I mean, hey, David has it, so...
Yeah, did you guys secretly communicate?
No, me and David just have similar taste.
I see, because you were like, here's mine. No, I changed my mind, and now suddenly it's David's. Anyway, sorry, tell us about Tom Cardy.
No, I mean, his stuff is just he somehow makes these absolute bops of songs that you can play on repeat for things that are just so mundane. He did one recently where he talked about people that just kind of piss him off, and people who think he did this whole song about how an old woman thought he worked at a supermarket and was asking him hey, where's the pasta? And he was just hey, I don't work here, and if I did, I would not sell you shit. Just
And then
I don't know how he
evolves
does
to him
it.
saving the world from an alien invasion by yelling at the aliens that he doesn't work at NASA. Like, just the thing about Tom Cardy is just he just seems to always be like this slight, that one day off from just killing someone. He's just this musician who's stuck inside in his board shorts and wife beater tank, just like, I'm putting all my energy into my guitar, or else I'm about to kill someone.
I'm pretty sure I have seen him before. This background looks very familiar. Okay.
There was a popular one that he did that was like, have you checked, or something like, have you checked your butthole? Because like he made this whole song where he was like saying that, you know, all of his friends asking like, hey, do you know where my keys are? And like the whole chorus of the song is, have you checked your ass? Da-da-da-da.
This is why I have no friends.
It sounds disturbingly familiar.
I mean,
I
one
hope
of my
it's from
favorites.
this music video.
One of my favorites is also the song Mixed Messages, which is one of his few that's like an animated video. And it's just him like saying that he can't give a straight answer to a woman. And he's like, one day I'll text you saying you're pretty, then I'll come to your house and I'll kick your dog again.
Definitely knowing this one.
I'll pay for the dog's veterinary bill, but then I'll punch your dad in the dick.
Yeah.
I love this song so much.
I love the story with this video as well. It's like the animator just like kind of drew their OCs kind of with this song, and then Tom Cardy just reached out and was like, hey, could I like pay you to just make a full music video with your OCs in it? Because I would love to see this finished. It's like,
which is so awesome. Like,
oh, it is.
What do you mean? Just turn it off.
Yeah, but I wanted to have subtitles because how else to present a music video without playing the sound? But it's Russian subtitles for some reason.
Oh, they're in Russian.
I mean, hey, for the Russian viewers out there, they're cheering on. They're like, yeah.
Do we have a Russian? Yeah, they're only Russian auto-generated. I don't know if that's just a joke, but it's a great joke.
It's fantastic. I'm sure Tom Cardy has some sort of
some
sort of intention behind it.
My favorite frame in this entire video is just, it's at 126. It's just the frame that the character has right before he starts punching the dad in the dick multiple times.
126, okay. There's the dad.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, you just missed it where it was just, well, that's also great. Yeah, no, like, before it scrolls down to see his fist ball up. No, keep going. Keep going. There, just that face of staring down with this blank, glassy smile is one of my favorite expressions of the video.
My favorite is the fact that he also, like, with some of his songs, he collaborates with a musician. I'm gonna butcher the name, Montaigne, and she's just like another fantastic Australian artist, but she's definitely done stuff like way more like I don't know.
Is she the artist in the Human Centipede song?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah!
And she's just like worked on serious songs and stuff, and then she collaborates with Tom Cardy. I'm like, that is the coolest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, the thing about Tom Cardy stuff is all of his songs have a little bit of a story to them. Like, the Human Centipede song is called Red Flags, and it's essentially that he's going on this date with this woman. He's having a great time, but the biggest red flag is that her favorite movie is Human Centipede.
That is a red flag, not gonna lie.
I was actually, I think I was talking about this with Mars, because, well, I guess when I started working with him, when I found out that he was Australian, you know, it's funny with Australians. It's like whenever you meet one online, you're like, oh, do you know this reference and that reference? When we started talking about Tom Cardy, he was just like, dude, I want to animate like a Tom Cardy song. And this is one of the songs that I guess as an animator, you just have that like that mindset whenever you hear a song sometimes, like, how would this look if I animated it into a music video? And the Human Centipede one, like, I just see it as like this really awkward situation in a restaurant, kind of like similar to Mixed Messages. Just,
Mine that I really want to animate is the Naughty or Nice song with the really disgruntled Santa Claus who just is like, hey, if everyone's on the naughty list, I don't have to deliver anything.
Yeah.
But also,
the elf. Is your face on the Coca-Cola bottle?
Yeah, is your face on the Coca-Cola bottle, Jeffrey? But my favorite Tom Cardy song is actually one on his YouTube shorts because it's the biggest mood, and it's called Love Language, where it's like, look, all I ever need from a partner is for you to touch my arm and occasionally affirm that I'm not a huge pile of shit. That is all I need. And it's like, you know what? That's my anthem. That's my theme song.
My anthem with his YouTube shorts is I forgot the name of it, but he was kind of using like a French term for a dish, and he was like, "I'm gonna make this," and then like he's like, "Nope, just kidding, I'm making toast again," and that's just me. I'm like, that's all I got in the cupboard.
Bon appetit, is that the name of the song?
I think so. Yeah.
But yeah, who do you think would like Tom Cardy's music, and who do you think wouldn't?
Oh, I think definitely his songs are aimed at like the more Gen's. Maybe like millennials. To be honest, millennials / like 2000s kids. I feel like if you were to show this to like, I don't know, Gen Z, where it's like, you know, kids who were introduced to TikTok, they were born when TikTok was still around. I feel like they wouldn't be interested in Tom Cardy's stuff. But it's just like the general frustrations that you have as an adult, like, or like the moods. He just seems to express them in the best way possible through these bops. It's just, man, if you like
synthy bloopy beats, you'll also like Tom Cardy. He has a very like nice 80s sounding synth noise.
Oh, nice.
And you know, I'm sorry, I know that Gen Zs are not babies anymore. But when you said like, oh, you know, Gen Z's people born with TikTok kind of thing, all I can imagine is just this little baby gumming on an iPad, and I know that's not the case. And that honestly makes me feel sadder because I still view Gen Z as babies, and I know a lot of them are actually going to graduate high school soon. It's like, ew.
It's starting to upset me, like,
I'm upset.
You know, for us 2000s kids, like everyone in the like 90s and, you know, before, they're all like, oh man, I can't believe the 2000s kids are actually 18 now. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, wait. You're born in 2006 and you're nearly 18 in a few years? Like, what the hell's going on?
No,
Insane.
Stop that. I mean, like, my revelation that my little cousin, who was basically like my baby sister for a long time, because she's like 5-6 years younger than me, you know, is going to college actively. And I'm like, no, you're not. No, you're not.
That's
no,
insane.
You're not. You are still a little Minnie Mouse sounding child. No.
You were saying before very briefly about like iPad kids and what have you. So like my family from England is here in Australia, and my mum was saying like, oh yeah, your cousins, because I still remember my younger cousins as like, you know, babies. So like when I hear that they're talking and stuff, I'm like, no, they're not. They're not like. And she's like, David, they're like 9 and 6 years old. I'm like, no, I don't believe that. And they're also just iPad kids. I'm like, oh no, I used to be like this.
No, I mean, I was never an iPad kid, but I just remember taking my little cousin when she was like a toddler to go see Bolt. And it's like, no, I was the one who babysat this one. I took her to the SpongeBob movie. She can't be going to college. Like, no, stop that. Yeah, like, exactly. Go backwards. But yeah, so if that's your media, Max, why don't you talk about yours?
I can do that. If I remember,
switching it up, not having you be last. Wow.
Wow. Yeah, this is. Oh, right. So, my media is a bit of a unusual one for me personally. It's a podcast.
Too bad.
It's a podcast by the beautiful name of Intentionally Blank. Let me go to, when they actually have funny, just like us, they started out audio only, and then they eventually started to have people on. But, again, advertisement.
Audience, why did you assume that I said Bolt was bad? It's not. I'm just saying that she was a baby when I took her to go see it.
So, did I pick the one episode? No, there they are. Okay. So, this, you think the Awkward Card is Talking Heads? That is Talking Heads, and it's even very...
Oh, okay, I know this podcast.
Yes, intentionally blank. This is basically, on the left, Brandon Sanderson, author of Storm Something Archive. I still haven't touched this series, but also of the Skyward series, which I talked about before on the show, of Mistborn, which I talked before on the show, and so he's a world-famous, mostly fantasy / sci-fi author. Like, he is top tier, like as in success, and if you like his writing, then also top tier in your hearts. I personally would consider myself a fan of his, and this is Dan Wells, his fellow warrior in the writing industry, and also an author. They seem to be very different in what they write, while, well, I already described Brandon being a little bit like, depending on which series, leaning a little bit into the direction of, what do you call the thing? Adults, young adult stories, YA, that's the thing. Yeah, YA with heavy fantasy and stuff. Dan Wells is actually more down the lines of a little bit horror, creepy mystery. So, very different tone, but they have a fantastic chemistry. You can tell they are real-life friends. They also, once again, similar to Cinema Therapy, and I'm not sure what other media fall under it, they are also... Why are Mormons so fantastically wholesome and entertaining people when they want to? They talk multiple times about their religion on the show, but it's also
it's their magical underwear, man. It keeps them funny.
Yeah, I guess so, because it's an absolute pleasure listening to those two. I mean, they also have like insanely exciting lives. You can say about Mormons what you want. The fact that they are forced by their religion to go out into the world for a year or something to travel around and spread the word of, well, what they believe in, is forces them to get out there, to see other places, to experience different cultures. So they're already, by default, world-traveling people. So... And those two are just, due to being authors, I assume, they are, not every author is automatically well-spoken, but an author can do words, unlike me, for example. So, and they can not only do words on paper, they also can do words when talking. So they have interesting stories, they bounce off each other fantastically.
Next you're gonna say they can chew gum and walk in a straight line at the same time.
Basically, they are pretty...
What other magical powers do these people have?
Multitasking. What Brandon is actually doing this entire podcast series is he's just signing pages for his books. Like, every now and then you see his assistant come in with such a stack, I'm not even exaggerating, such a stack of papers, puts it in front of him, and he just keeps going while talking about whatever.
Gotta respect the workaholic vibe, you know?
Oh, he is insane workaholic. and he doesn't have to. He is settled for life financially. His success already put him to that point.
Oh, look, you saw the
paper. You saw paper. Wait, can we see... the guy bringing in some papers. It doesn't happen every stream. Sometimes the stack is big enough.
It's true that Mormons drink nothing but Dr. Pepper. Look, I'm not going to interrupt Max's segment, but there is a whole soda pop industry when it comes to Mormons.
Because they're not allowed to drink coffee, so they need to drink something else.
But thanks to TikTok, I was able to find out that like soda bars and shit in Utah are like the most poppin' places on the planet. Like. People will just go there and just buy soda after soda, like soda fountain sodas. And it's just
God.
you're just replacing one addiction with another.
Yeah. Also, isn't the entire idea that they are not supposed to drink stimulants? So anything that causes a rush in it. Oh, this is also great. They have a fucking naming convention. You see, they have boba tea. Dan has already drunken his, while Brandon hasn't. And the title for the entire episode is "I have boba tea and you don't." Like, even the fucking episode titles are bangers. It's and they usually do this thing which is different from the awkward cast to set us apart from those wannabes over there. They have basically a theme for the entire episode. An episode is usually up to an hour. I assume they probably record an hour and then cut stuff out so it ends up on like 40 to 50 something minutes. They have one topic on which they just go on about the entire episode they have, which reminds me of early day awkward, when we also had a list of topics we wanted to talk about before we started having guests, and then we tried to address those topics in episodes, but no, they actually managed to stay. Okay, no, they don't manage to stay on topic. They completely diverge from topics to the point where they had to pick up a topic from a previous podcast in the next podcast because they didn't actually address the topic they had for the last podcast properly, because 5 minutes in they got on a side tangent. Yeah, and as you can see by the little red bars, I'm making my way through it very determinedly. And also a fun thing is their taste in stuff is good. They like video games. They have different tastes in video games. So when they discuss video games, you can hear different sides arguing with each other. Media and stuff. But Key's just smiling her ass off for some reason.
Sorry, I'll show it in a bit. It has nothing to do with the topic.
Okay.
It's just something really funny I saw on Twitter.
But yeah, my general thing is, like, I mean, if you like podcasts, which, given that you are here, like, an hour into this particular episode, I guess you were already covering that point. So if you like podcasts and need to fill your week with more than just the awkward cards, which you obviously have to continue watching and tell your friend. If you need more podcasts in your life, I highly recommend Intentionally Blank. I personally enjoy it and keep listening to it. So, if you need more podcasts in your life, check it out. I will specifically link the playlist because Brandon has a lot more on his YouTube channel. It's running on his channel. And he has like a bazillion things. Like he has ongoing segments by himself, which are probably also interesting enough because it's still the same person. But the energy specifically him and Dan have with each other is pretty interesting. And I can probably also give a little bit of a prediction for the future, that because this podcast got me interested in Dan, I checked out one first audiobook which was freely available within Audible, but it's a like very, very young audience. It's more like a children's book, which is still well written and whatnot. It's a full audio play and whatnot, but I would probably pick up his most infamous work at some point, which is I Am Not a Serial Killer.
I hope not.
I mean, fun fact, I believe from what they talked about, and I read between the lines, is that it's kind of a Dexter situation where the protagonist actually is killing people. But he is not a serial killer. The title says so. But yeah, curious to pick this one up. For all the fans who like hearing me talk about audiobooks on the show, stay tuned for the future. But for now, Intentionally Blank, enjoyable podcast. Give it a try. If it's not your cup of tea, I guess it's in the worst case you wasted however long you decide to give it a chance. And
I think that's the good thing about podcasts, though. Like, I was just gonna say, like, it's so rare to like see a podcast where the chemistry works, but they are polar opposites, and that's why I can't. I mean, of course I watch this podcast, but like other particular podcasts, like where it's just like similar dudes chatting. It's like some people don't realize that the actual ingredient is like you've got to grab the polar opposites to make things interesting, and it's
they are not polar, and still it works. But they're fucking nerds. So if you, that's probably something I should add. If you are a nerd liking to listen to nerds talk, then it's the right one.
Fantastic.
It's not a series, so just pick one with an interesting sounding title and listen to that one.
I like to believe that me and Max are different enough that we're an entertaining duo. We're not the stereotypical podcast back and forth that people make fun of just two white dudes echoing each other.
I was going to say, you know what? This podcast is going well so far because neither of you have said, oh, this is episode 280. Wow. Can you believe we made it to 280? And they talk about that for like...
We have often enough the reflection that, whoa, today is the 212th it might actually be 213.
Yeah, and we're but usually that leads up with us that usually then just goes onward with, oh, how we still don't know what we're doing and we're at this episode.
That is
I've just seen so many podcasts that like I guess will kind of have like 30 minutes dedicated to something like that, to reflecting. And I mean that's oh well, like I feel like with Super Mega, for instance, you know, like I feel like they've done that a few times. I enjoy them, I love watching them, but it's just like every podcast, you know.
I mean, at least we also don't have the long string of sponsors to state like you know, like
today's episode is sponsored by Ferret Paw.
Yeah, today's episode is sponsored by Coca-Cola.
Today's episode is sponsored by
Ferret?
Genshin Impact.
I don't have a ferret. I don't have a ferret in reach. I need more ferrets around here. By Among Us.
Among Us. But no, the thing I was laughing at, I put in chat. It's basically because like, so it's a limited edition soda, right? It's Marshmallows limited edition soda. What do you think the flavor is?
Oh no, it's not marshmallows. Oh no, it's watermelon strawberry. What?
In a white cum-colored can. It's like, why?
That's fantastic. Oh, I wish we had more stuff like that in Australia, like limited edition Coke. I'd be all over that.
There's just so many things about this that makes me mad. But yeah, so my media.
My media, and okay.
So this is actually a relatively new YouTuber that's been making the rounds. As you see, he only has like 12.5 thousand subscribers.
Ooh, but long format, this is dangerous for me.
Yes, but his name is Boys Hub Ultra. And I found him through, his most popular video, which is the Izzy Isn't Crazy conspiracy to any 2000s kid who watched a Total Drama Island and stuff. He made like this entire, nearly 2-hour-long theory about how the local crazy chick Izzy was actually the true villain of the entire show. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to watch this entire thing. I did. And it's actually like, holy crap, this theory has legs to stand on. What the fuck? But then, you know, then I just started to go more into his stuff. Like, he's my favorite genre of long format, which is things usually people don't give a shit about, and making it into a video.
Like what's the name of the dude who traveled to Japan and everything for McDonald's Japan tutorials thing?
Oh, Nick Robinson or something like that?
Yeah.
But yeah, so, because like some of these video topics, people would not be very privy on. Like, the year Cartoon Network got really obsessed with thumbs, and which just talks. So there was just around the time that they got like Clone Wars, when Cartoon Network acquired that, they would air the Thumb movie parodies, which were made by the people who made Jimmy Neutron. So like Thumb Wars and Frankenthumb and the Thumb Batman movie. This all happened in the same year. And there was also an entire show about thumb wrestling called the Thumb Wrestling Federation, with like puppeted mask luchador thumbs. What a time to be alive.
My God.
Yeah, and I mean, that video is also like nearly an hour, and I was fully invested the entire time of this weird thumb blip in this world. And then, like, he also has, like, I think the other really good one is the best and worst musical TV episodes, because he has such different, like, genres. Not genres, but, like, qualifiers for each one. And it kind of goes off into tangents. Like, I think he talks about specifically the stop motion... no, he talks about the episode of Community, or not Community or Parks and Rec, where it's all, like, puppeted, like a puppet show musical. And it just goes into him talking about other musical episodes of the show. And it was just so good. Yeah, and that one I think is a very slept on video because it only has like 5,000, it's less than 5,000 views, which I think is a sin.
Then again, it is his fourth most watched video. There's between the Izzy one and the rest, there's kind of a jump.
I know, the Izzy one got taken up by the algorithm really well, and I'm glad. I think this guy deserves so much more attention because he puts so much production value into his stuff. If you guys have ever seen Quentin reviews' like iCarly videos, which is such a... I love the fact that this is a timeline where I could say that as a mark of quality is someone's long-form video essay about Nickelodeon's iCarly.
Oh my God, yeah.
I mean, those videos are fucking fantastic. But
I didn't think I'd sit through that, but like, it's just those long videos. Yeah, it's insane.
I'm pretty sure I went through like 2 days worth of the gym just listening to that iCarly video while working out. But yeah, this guy I think just needs more attention. He's primed to probably get big. And I'm very glad that I have seemed to have found him when he's still like just in this Prometheus and just starting to get it picked up. But yeah, if you guys like long form video essays about niche topics, what a better place than the internet to have that. So if you like stuff like Quentin reviews and going into like these kind of things, I think you'd really enjoy it. I have to say, I think the Izzy Conspiracy video is actually a great video to start with, even if you've never seen Total Drama Island, because he basically goes through the entire series to talk about it, and he's very succinct in what he's saying when he gives context to everything, that it's just like, as someone who, you know, watched the show in the past, I haven't watched it in literal years, and then coming back to it, it's just like, whoa. This makes a lot of sense, and now I want to watch the show again.
I tried watching it once, and it didn't get me further than 2 or 3 episodes.
I mean, fair, but like the conspiracy theories actually, when someone makes such a, it sounds like Sans' Nest from Undertale level of, okay, you're reaching, but then it all starts to make sense, is the most insane shit, because his whole theory is that Izzy actually isn't like the crazy person who has like a microchip in her fucking head. She's just playing the game by acting crazy so she can just get through the game undetected and try to win and manipulate everyone. Like, she's the actual true master manipulator, because if she convinces everyone she's crazy, no one suspects the crazy person. It's like, what is this? Why is this actually probably more thought than the actual creators of Total Drama put into their show?
I do love that genre is being introduced, though, because, like, especially with, like, Quentin stuff, because I was an iCarly viewer as a kid, and then just, like, as he was explaining kind of some of these episodes into further detail, like, it just got me hitched onto, like, these kind of videos. It's just, like, mind-blowing, especially if you know them from, like, childhood memories. You're like, oh my God, so right.
Yes, and also, I'm pretty sure this channel also thinks that World Tour, which is the musical season, is the best season of Total Drama, which means his opinion is automatically superior because it matches mine. Because the musical season is the best one. But yeah, so I I just really recommend this guy's channel. I think he's going to pop off, and I think we should all be there for the beginning of the ride. I think the only people who would really like not enjoy it are people who don't like long form content and people who don't want to learn, who don't like niche topics. Which in that case, I have to say, open up your minds, you losers. If you don't want that, go watch the Discovery Channel. I don't know. You think the world only revolves around your interests?
Well,
the world becomes a lot more interesting when you learn new things about it.
I guess so. But yeah.
But yes, that was my media.
And with that, 10 minutes passed, but it's time for the Q&A.
Woo!
I only have one on Twitter, so but I saw that some more came in on Discord over time.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. But yeah, maybe here's the thing. This week's Would You Rather from J-Rock is a little bit weird, so I'm tempted to go with the one from last week that we didn't do. This week, unless you guys can convince me otherwise. So this week is would you rather have access to all the music ever written, but no way to play it, or be able to play any piece of music ever written on any instrument, but never be able to listen to any music again?
Wait, repeat that?
I know. It sounds like you don't get to listen to music either way. So let's go with last week's. Would you rather? Because last week there was like, oh, that's actually not. That's actually interesting. So, would you rather live in a country with low cost of living but horrible weather, or live in a country with high cost of living but amazing weather? That's not as straightforward.
So low cost of living,
but shitty weather.
England.
And high cost of living, but amazing weather.
I'm not sure if Britain is low cost of living, depending on where.
Definitely
maybe.
not. But
yeah,
but shit weather ticks the box.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But we can probably find shitty weather and low cost of living. Now the question I have: how is the internet? So I dare to say we have good internet either way. I'm pretty sure you can find a place. You can probably find a place for both criteria to fit, but with good internet somewhere on the planet.
Yes, I feel like I feel like that would be something of key importance for like the country. It's like, yeah, it could be cheap, but how good is the internet? You know.
and I guess amazing weather should also be defined as personal. So because I already see in the chat like UK versus California. I'm not sure if California is amazing weather because it might just be too hot. So
I can attest. It's very hot during the summer. If you're here at like any other time of the year, it's actually very pleasant. I mean, unless it's that one time in November that Max visited, and it was also like 90 degrees, where it was like he only packed warm clothing, and it was like, what am I gonna do?
I came from a place where there currently was winter.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I think I'm going to pick the low cost of living with shitty weather because I'm inside most of the time anyways. And if I'm and usually like I'm just going to go to another place. And like the weather is just kind of the transitional thing. If it's just raining or snowing in between me going from here to an escape room, it's not going to be snowing in the escape room.
You're not going to walk outside and be like, can't go today, it's snowing, lads. You know?
Yeah, that's probably, maybe the question is not as good as I intentionally thought, because we're all fucking nerds, and so we are probably all going to pick the
we're
low
not
cost
all
of
like
living.
If we had someone who was like a manly man eating granola and mountain climbing, they'd probably be like, oh yeah, the fantastic weather, so I can go and live off the land for my 15th camping trip with my border collie.
But here's the thing: when I want to go camping, and I have done so in the past, believe it or not, I go to a different country with amazing weather anyways.
Exactly. I don't need amazing weather where I live. If I want to go somewhere nice, I usually am traveling. So like, it's like why I don't care if I have like a super fancy hotel or not. At the end of the day, it's just where I sleep.
So...
And I do think it's based on general preference of weather. Like for me, I absolutely love winter weather. So I would probably, like, if you would consider winter weather to be kind of, or raining weather to be kind of shit, then I'd probably choose the first option myself. Plus also, hey, cheap bills.
Exactly. Then
it's a win-win. I see that as an absolute win.
Yeah, so then you have more money to travel to the nice places. Simple, done. Next question.
Yep. And next question, all the next questions are on you, because that was Twitter.
Yes, so I like this question that Raspberry Jam Session asked. Great name, Odie. And this is actually from the other stream I did this week where I played Will You Press the Button, which is this fantastic browser game that gives you a bunch of different scenarios. So it's like, you get immortality, but you'll never be able to achieve an orgasm. Like there's always a caveat, and you have to be like, will you press the button or not? So I think this came from that. Hashtag Ask Awkward. You're invisible as long as you're holding your breath and naked. What do you use this power for? We had this question on Will You Press the Button, and everyone got mad at me trying to explain how I could rob a bank while doing this.
Funny enough, my idea, my initial thought went to a similar direction, because I can't hold my breath super long, so all the creepy shit is out of it, né? Unless you use it unless you use one hold breath to sneak in and then find a nice hiding spot somewhere.
That was my idea!
Oh, for the bank?
Yeah, for the bank!
Okay, yeah, definitely. I was talking about a bank too, and nothing or creepy or horny or lewd or something. But yeah, that's the thing. If you only have one lung full of breath to get into position, and the nakedness is a little bit like, well, you need to have a good plan for the way out again, I guess. But I mean, yeah,
yeah.
Man,
so
I'm trying to make it count. I'd probably, yeah. I mean, the bank one sounds pretty accurate. I have my personal scenario, if that were the case, is I have a communal washing machine outside my place. So I could just, if it's laundry day, I could just straight up hold my breath, put everything in the washing machine, just hold my breath, grab the laundry, run back inside. Yeah. So
you know what? That's actually a great thing for short bursts. Because I get delivery food quite a few times a day because it's hot and I can't walk to the shops as much as I usually can, and I don't have a ride all the time. So I usually DoorDash for groceries or something. And when I'm not on a podcast, I'm not usually wearing clothes because it's hot and I pay rent in this place. I don't need to wear clothes. But then I usually have to put on a robe and stuff to open the door because I'm not going to have the 5% chance that there's a neighbor outside, and I don't need them seeing these bits that are only seen by a handful of people. So if I could just hold my breath to be invisible for that one moment and grab my bags, I would do it.
You'd terrify the driver. He'd be like, oh shit.
See, the thing is I have to be careful with this power because I have limited lung capacity. So I'm working with a disadvantage. Thank you, long COVID, for impeding my invisibility powers.
With great lungs comes great responsibility.
Oh, that's nice. But yeah, I'm also thinking a different great idea to use it for, but I'm not sure how great it really is. Mm-hmm. So I might need some help with this one, if we can figure out to make it work. Assassin. The problem is you must be naked, so you can't even wear gloves if you go for strangling. I mean, but you might leave fingerprints somewhere, so you must not touch anything. Also, a murder weapon. If you are okay, I just need to sneak in and I grab a random object that's there and smash it over their head. Still,
Okay,
there will be
I have a
fingerprints on it.
solution here.
Okay, yes.
I have a solution here. You wait until your target is alone, okay? And
You're still
you
trying
have
to
just
use the
have-
same tactic as with the bank robbing.
Well, no, yes, but no. The thing is, with this kind of situation, you have to wait until there's a moment that there's just a lot of DNA everywhere.
Ah.
That's right. We have to wait until this guy is either in an orgy or jerking off. Because that way you have just a perfect supply of just other people's DNA and fingerprints to
how
that
do
you
you
can cover
think,
up your own.
just general interjection. How do you think jerking off works? Where does the DNA from many other people come from?
No, what I'm saying is, if this guy is jerking off, he's not going to be focused. So you can hold your breath and wait while he's concluding, and then just
why do I have to wait until he's done? A, I don't want to see this for an extended period of time, and B, I have only that much lung capacity.
Look, let me finish my plan. Keep an
It
open
sucks.
mind
I can
here.
suddenly see why people doubted your ability to rob a bank with this ability.
I'm saying, you already have rags and shit that you can wipe up your fingerprints with. Because What?
Just
But we were just also talking about DNA left behind.
I find it so fascinating that whenever I discuss killing a man while he's in the middle of Congress, guys find it more disgusting with the process of semen being involved than a woman. I find nothing gross about this, and more when I discuss this hypothetical, and I have multiple times, the guys are the ones that find it gross. It comes out of your body.
I wasn't even grossed out. I was just seeing problems in your plan.
I'm talking about David, not you.
My situation with it is not the nutting part. Hey, you do you, man. But
there's no better time to kill a man than when he's nutting, because he's not paying attention to anything else.
I mean, I guess, but you could also say the same. He could be say hypothetically they're working at home and they're hyper focused. You could do it then. They're distracted. It's not like they're gonna look behind them if you're invisible.
He wants
I don't want this last guy's living memory to be work. Let it be a good thing.
He died doing what he loved.
He died doing what he loved himself. I imagine if I was an assassin, I would kill exclusively narcissists. But yeah, so that question happened.
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
Let's see how many more we can squeeze in, or
okay.
how many more we have. It's not that many actually.
Let's see. Here's one from Magical Dude. Ask Awkward, what's the best breakfast food and why?
Oh.
There we go. There's the real questions.
And
the thought-provoking.
Yeah, the why part is not prevents you from just using your favorite. So, I mean, I maybe as a starter, I can say what I actually eat for breakfast, but I'm not sure if it is the best. So I usually, my usual breakfast is slices of good old whole wheat bread. Depending on if it's the weekend or during the week, it has different spread on it. Yes, I'm actually don't ask why. I have no clue. I believe the idea is that actually at the weekend I eat the spreads that I really like, but during the week I try to be better. But the weekend is kind of cheat days because it's a weekend. I can just smear all the sweet stuff on it.
Yeah,
right.
I'm an adult.
And what's the why, Max? What's the why?
No, that's my point. That's I'm just started out okay, that's what I eat. Now, that would be the question, do I think it is the best breakfast food? I mean, it probably comes in as, depending on what your spread is, as being relatively healthy, and it's a solid start into the day. Once again, depending on what you put on it. So it varies strongly with the spread. We probably should specify the spread. What makes the best spread? It shouldn't be something too I don't know, unhealthy because it's too junk foody, because this gives you a bad start in the day.
Just take a scoop of protein powder, throw it on the bread, wrap it up like a burrito, and eat it.
Protein powder is not healthy. Stop it, woman.
Coughing out powder.
It's like the cinnamon challenge, but with protein.
Could you please try to stop answering every single question with protein? I mean, you also tried to answer the last one with protein. A different type, admittedly.
Oh,
God.
welcome to the wonderful. Anyways, continue. So what? So yes, it is dependent on your spread of like if it's healthy or not.
But
I mean, you could put avocado and some egg on it, like that would make it healthy.
Yes. I mean, it's too much effort, but if I had somebody make it for me, then yeah, I would go with that. Okay, we found my answer. I'm too lazy in reality.
What? How are you too lazy to open up an avocado?
Yes, exactly. Opening up an avocado, scooping it.
Just like
that is so fucking easy. I do that like every day.
Compare this with like done.
Oh yeah, but there's lazy and then there's catatonic. Are you catatonic?
You know me, of course I am.
I do know you, dear. So yes, but what about you, David?
Well, I guess for my general breakfast on what I've been having, because like I said earlier in the podcast, I've started like exercising / dieting. So my new thing is like whole wheat bread. And I'm one of these Aussies that just like get disgusted by the rest of the world because I put Vegemite, avocado on top, and I generally have like a boiled egg or two. But I'd say like a general breakfast is just a simple, eggs on toast, maybe 1 or 2 eggs. I feel like that's the best way you can go around it. I've seen like, I'm like looking at the chat and seeing so many people saying pancakes. I'm like, I'm trying to imagine myself like having that on a daily. It would just get so tiring almost.
Also, I just want to point out that all those people who scream pancake in the chat ignored the why. They're not. The question was, what is the best breakfast food and why? I think
the why is that it makes them happy. That's their why.
Yes, it's true.
Yeah, but as David said, after a month of pancake every single morning, the happiness will disappear and the diabetes will take its place.
I mean, have you seen Super Size Me and that dude eating the McDonald's breakfast?
I mean, American food in general, am I right?
I mean, yeah, fair enough. No, but honestly, I guess the reason with like my breakfast choice, just like eggs on toast, is like there's literally nothing that could go wrong with it. It's like, sure, it could get tiring some days, but then there are other days that you're like, oh shit, yeah, eggs on toast, let's go.
Yeah, what is mine? I mean, one of my favorite things to do is that I make homemade bagels, and I love a good bagel.
I only had proper bagel for the first time, like at the beginning of the year when I was in the US, and it was so good that we needed to go there a second time.
Yeah, the New Yorker in me is coming out. One of my go-to breakfasts when I have bagels is just a bagel with schmear, which is just a bagel with like cream cheese, which is a very common. Oh, God. When I take you to New York eventually, Max, I gotta take you to specifically a Jewish deli. They make the best bagels in the world. They are so good. Mwah. It is really the water that makes it good. It's that Hudson River water that's fermented with a bunch of mafia hits. makes it perfect. But no, that's not. But I don't think that's my like absolute best breakfast. It's just the one I like to do because I also get the validation that I made them. I made them with my 2 hands.
With these hands.
With these bare hands, I made this dough. I brought it into the world, and I'm taking it out.
And I did a hole in it. Oh yeah, a hole in the middle. Sorry, continue.
That is, first of all, that is not how you make the hole for a bagel. I don't.
Yeah.
So you take the bagel dough, and then you twirl it around until it's like a circle.
That's actually not far off from what you do, though. Well, like, okay, the thing is that if you split them up into even-sized dough balls and you put your thumb inside and then you pinch the outside and then you're going like this. Because you have to actually make it a pretty wide hole because when you boil the bagel, it gets bigger and then you proof it again. And so the hole's just going to get smaller and smaller. So unless you want butthole bagels, you have to make the hole big. But no, I think my best... the two best and whys for me for breakfast one is a chia pudding, which is actually something I meal prep very often, which is just chia seeds, protein powder, oat milk. I put in vanilla, maple syrup, and all this stuff, and walnuts. And it's one of my favorite breakfasts. It's so good. Good source of protein and fiber, which you need if you're going to eat a lot of proteins and macros. Otherwise, you're going to be clogged up, boy. Just don't do chia seeds every day. You will just completely eviscerate yourself because nothing's going to stay in your stomach for more than 2 hours. It's a lot of fiber. But the other thing that I really love is actually like this I think it's like a Turkish egg dish. And it's essentially you make like this garlicky Greek yogurt base with also like olive oil, butter, and chili, chili powder. And and then you poach some eggs and you put that on top of the Greek yogurt base, and then you put that chili, olive oil, butter on top. I can't remember the name for the life of me right now. I don't want to whiteify it like so many people have been doing. I'm not turning agua fresca into spa water. I just do not remember the name right now. But I've been making that fairly often, and it's really fucking good, especially when you get some crispy bread. But that's also the thing. I'm the type of person that likes to put effort into my breakfast because I need to have that I am doing something in the morning. And I know some people don't have the privilege of time to do that, but I feel like if I'm doing that, I'm taking effort not just for my food, but for myself, and that makes me feel better.
That is a very valid reasoning. But yeah,
and that is why.
I also remember... sorry. Continue.
No, I also have had moments where I have eaten just a bag of chips in the morning. So that, it all really depends on your mental state.
Yeah,
it's a mood, yeah.
But we were asked about the best breakfast food and not about... what happens to end up as our breakfast food, depending on circumstances. But I also it took me to hear you talk about pooping, that I realized we forgot the ultimate one, because we were so focused on food, on eatable food. But I mean, a drink also counts as a food item in the...
I drink coffee. I drink cold black coffee, which apparently makes people think I'm Satan.
Wait, what? I do the same. And people always call me crazy.
Yeah, I have so many people who think I'm really weird for liking black coffee. But the thing that makes them think it's weirder is that I like it ice cold. Yeah, they're like, oh, if you're going to drink black coffee, at least drink it hot. It's like, no. Yeah, I like it.
Coffee good when hot. Coffee not good when room temperature. Coffee good again when cold. It's one of those things. Yeah. But yeah, cold is iced coffee. Have you ever heard about iced coffee? That's it.
Yeah, but it's just like I guess like, look, I like a good like vanilla cappuccino once in a while, but I do like just black coffee, unless I'm like traveling, then I usually get like something flavored, but that's because I am someone who gets low blood sugar very fast, and I need to make sure that I can keep myself going the entire day without having to constantly eat like a hobbit. So when I'm home, I can go and grab a snack whenever I want. If I want black coffee, then that's fine because I have something within reach all the time. Not when I'm not home. But I don't know why people think black coffee is a sign of an insane person. Do you see saran wrap on the floor? I am not Dexter. I just like bitter coffee.
So I have a funny somewhat off-topic story, but it's about coffee. So I used to work at McDonald's for 7 years, and kind of my last few years, the second shop I worked at during college, they were a lot more chill. So they were like, hey, if you want a coffee, you can totally make one yourself. Like, don't even worry about paying it. It's fine. And I used to get like the psychotic, like they gave me that power, and I was like, you're gonna regret this, because I would just like, I'm the same kind of person. Like I like ice long blacks. I just love them. I'm the kind of guy that would probably even get like an extra espresso shot because the bitter the better for me. I'm just crazy that way. And I remember my boss acted really serious. He's like, I'm gonna need you to step into my office. I was like, oh god, what's going on? Stepped in. He's like, man, I'm concerned about you. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, I just looked at your receipt and I saw the coffee you got, and I just need to know, like, how is your heart? Are you okay? I was like, I'm fine. What do you mean? And he was like, it's psychotic talk. I'm like, is that why you brought me in here?
I mean, I've had people ask me that because I like just caffeine, because I know that every time I talk about the time I accidentally drank 12 Red Bulls in one day, someone was like, are you okay? It's like,
shit.
yeah, I was fine. Why do you ask? It's like, that usually kills people.
Yeah.
I don't know why. My body both has like a low tolerance for caffeine because I will get hyped up on energy, but I've never gotten sick from caffeine. So
I've only had that instance
maybe
once,
I just
and
had
I think
the kidneys of a god.
Maybe you had the genetical possibility to grow 6 feet tall, but then you had the energy drink session, and your body just like, okay, we are only making it to whatever you are, 4.5 feet.
I'm 5'6". Did you just say 1.5 feet?
4.5.
Okay. You've met me, Maxie. Like, do you
Yes, and I
think I'm
can
just like...
easily rest my arm on your head. So
Maybe you're just really tall. Have you ever thought about that?
I'm 6 foot.
Yes.
Okay, well, I mean, that is pretty tall, so, like, I'll give it to both of you. Both tall and short.
I am the average height of an American woman. Everyone else is just taller than me.
But like you were saying how like you've never had an instance where like coffee has made you crash, but my one example of like, oh well, my only example of having a crash was when I just started college, and there was a 7-Eleven right next to my college where they served like $1 coffees here in Australia. So like there was just a phase I had where I like one day I just drank like 7 long blacks, and I had to be at work till like 11 p.m. and I was just so hyped up that like I had crashed mid shift. I was like, oh no, not now. So be careful with coffee. Yeah, exactly.
Oh god, that's one of the worst. The only time where I felt like a crash from an energy drink was one time I had it like mixed with vodka. I think I had like a Monster vodka, and it was just the weirdest sensation of I could feel myself getting tired, but everything was still moving at like 20 miles an hour, and it's like I don't know what's going on right now. Help!
Oh, my hands!
I've never been so hyper aware during a panic attack.
I went to a music festival that like sold something similar. It was like Red Bull and vodka, and I was like, I'm drunk but also energetic. What the hell's going on?
Like the thing is that every other time I've had an energy drink mixed with alcohol, it's never been that bad. Because I had one in Vegas that was like a really big tall boy that was like an alcoholic drink with like just a can of Red Bull upside down in it, and it was great, and I felt fine. Honestly, there were more wasted people around us that night than we were. So
well, it was a karaoke bar, so
it was a karaoke bar. It was a great karaoke bar. The funniest thing was just Golden like not knowing what to do. Yeah. The funniest thing about it was just me and Max having fun and Golden not knowing what to do with himself, so he just took his camera and took pictures of the strip, just like, okay, I'm gonna go do this now.
Oh my god.
But yeah, so next question. I think we have time for one question and then the FMK. So this one I'm gonna reword just a little bit. So Incendiary Theater Kid asks, so it's currently summer break here in Germany, at least where I live. And since I'm starting to get bored, hashtag Ask Awkward, what was your favorite thing to do during summer vacation? So I'm rewording this so it's like, because we've all been out of school for quite a bit. I think David is the most freshest out of school out of all of us. But like when you guys were youngins, what was your favorite thing to do on summer break?
Oh god.
Oh, I can actually lead the charge on that one.
Go ahead.
Because for the when did I believe it maybe did it start after school? I don't know. No, I believe. Anyways, so a fantastic thing that I discovered for myself to do during summer, and I repeated a few years in a row, was we're coming all the way around to something I mentioned earlier, a kind of adventure trip to Norway. which was like it was an organized trip, which therefore I could do multiple years in a row. And the organizer, who just lived half the year down there with his family, actually German, who got like different groups to come there, and he had this land that he was renting from the owner, and this was. You need to understand that countries like Norway are mostly nature. They are highly civilized. Oh, yeah. So when you go into the cities, this is like high end.
I've seen a lot of footage and stuff of Norway. It's not nearly as industrialized as like America or Germany.
Not the general countryside. They have, but
I'm just saying there is a countryside. That's the point I'm making here.
Exactly, and beautiful countryside. And the thing is, the guy owns, not the German guy who traveled there, but the guy just owns a giant ass piece of wood and land and whatnot. And they have a little camping installment there, like a teepee, which is one of those big tents that you can put up, a little river going right by the campsite, just a nice big green field for putting up tents. Technically a little bit of a bungalow area on top, but this was not for the campers, so we had to actually get our little camping tents and sleep on the green. And to the question, do we have running water? Yes, left to right in the little river. And every year you dug a nice new toilet, which then got totally over-engineered by the participants, because so it starts with like digging a hole, fair, then putting nice bars on top of it. You can sit comfortably, and they went nuts. Like one step away from putting up nice pillows.
It's making an outhouse.
Yeah, but not, one step away from installing pillows and no seats. They had little
a lid.
Yeah, the lid, exactly. They had little like flags you can pull up to show that it's occupied, and they got nuts with it at some point. And the entire trip was like 2 weeks. The entire group got split into 3. One group stayed in the base camp. One group went on a 3-day trekking hike through the mountains, and the last group went through a 3-day canoe trip down the river. And then the 3 groups rotated, and it was brilliant. I loved it. Did it many times over. Eventually, I cheated the system because it was only for a certain age group. So I actually joined the organization to become
a counselor,
exactly,
like
to become a counselor.
Yeah.
So I could.
That's how you like the system, baby.
This is, and I knew that the counselors actually did shit there. They were technically the ones responsible, but because this German guide dude who organized this thing, he and his guides were the people who actually had the survival skills. So they were in charge de facto. So the counselors were just technically, officially in charge. They were officially the representatives of the company who did the trip, but they were not survival guides. So at the end of the day, they had technically responsibility, practically not really. So they were just older additional participants. So that's how I got one more year out of it.
What about you, David? What was your
summer vacation thing?
I'll say first of all, like, that sounds like a hell of a summer experience. But mine is just the absolute opposite, and it explains so much. Like, now me as an adult, that like all I do is work, because during summer breaks all I would do is animate, like, because that was just my thing. When I was given like cracked Adobe Flash, didn't have to pay for it. Like that's what I do, like, for all my summers, really, is just experiment with Flash and stuff. And I guess when I got a little bit closer to like 18 and what have you, that's obviously when all your friends and what have you start to get their driver's license. So we would just go on day trips to random places. Like, we lived, I lived in kind of outback country kind of area. So like there was always something to explore just on a short road trip for the day. And that was pretty much my summers. But yeah, honestly, like it would be more time to be at home most of the time. I wouldn't say gaming, just like more opportunity to draw and kind of experiment and what have you, and explains why I'm such a workaholic now.
Yeah. See, mine too was because during the summer, at least when I lived in Indiana, I would actually during the summer go back to New York and just live with my. Is there a ferret nearby?
What gave it away?
You leaning far away.
And snipping.
You mentioned New York, and he's just like.
Why don't you just get up and grab him?
I could try that. But he's drinking. I don't want to interrupt his drinking. It's hot.
Take it. Bring the water with you.
I have a here.
He could drink on stream. One of them drinks out of your cup anyways.
Exactly. He keeps doing this all the time. So why not combine?
Himbo!
Aww.
Aw, what a good
So
boy.
cute.
Secret rupees for Himbo. Aw. Anyways, but no. So, I mean, one of my favorite things is if anyone... Oh, good boy. I can't wait to meet him. I will steal him. If anyone who knows me is that I love the water. I will take the first opportunity to go to anywhere where there's a pool or a beach or anything. And that's basically because I grew up on an island. I lived on Long Island and I lived near the beach. So every summer, ever since I was a little kid, we would just always go to the... Oh, hi, Himbo. I would always just go to the beach. And it was always me and my aunt on my dad's side. And we would pack up her van. We would listen to Beach Boys listen to the Beach Boys going all the way down to the beach, and we would just sit on the beach. We would go swimming. We would pick up seashells, because one of the little hobbies me and my aunt would do is that we would find seashells that have holes in them, and we would like shellac them with clear nail polish and make like little necklaces out of them. What?
No, he's just like coming out for the third time like, no, I can go for more, and back in.
I think maybe he's listening.
Yeah. He's doing a taste test, you know.
But
it's like a good sommelier.
It's
like
he doesn't get any water otherwise. Like, he needs to steal my water. He has an entire fucking fountain. Okay, now he's...
What a good boy. Yeah. But yeah, so like...
He's on the move. Oh boy. Oh boy. Can't
okay.
stop
He got what he wanted out of you.
Basically, yeah. No, he's back for more water. Thank you. Bless you.
But no, and then like we would do boogie boarding, where you take a board, you wait for the waves to hit you, and you travel all the way out. Sometimes we would just do it with our body. We would make sandwiches and go there. Then we would get Italian ices afterwards, after the beach. I used to have a nickname in the family called Chicken Cutlet because I always somehow got sand on every square inch of my body as a kid. That probably would not be any different as an adult, honestly. But that's just one of my most vivid memories. That's why I love going to the beach. And if there is a beach nearby, I usually am like, can we go there? Can we do this? Because it's just such a, I don't know, it's just an integral part of my childhood. I just like the vibes. I feel like it's just one of the most relaxing places. I will say, as someone who's went to a beach on the Pacific and one on the Atlantic, I prefer Atlantic beaches, though it may have been because I went to the beach on the Pacific with a little bitch baby. I'm not going to name names here, but let me just say it's very funny to see a 6-foot-tall built man being whiny while being in the water, going like this, trying to be like, the water can't hurt me, the water can't hurt me, and then a wave slaps him on the back, and he's like, ah!
Yeah, that sounds very embarrassing. Yeah, I wouldn't want to be that guy.
Yeah, it's some say he's still yelling at the Pacific Ocean to this day.
It's true.
It's funny you mentioned that about beaches, though, because my grandparents, like, on both sides, like, were like, are fans of the beach, and they would live by the beach side. It's funny how you mentioned like just that childhood nostalgia, because you just made me realize like maybe that's why, because I live just like literally a 2-minute walk to the beach. That's probably why I moved, because of that nostalgia that I had with like going to beaches during the summer breaks. But the issue is now, as an adult, is that when I go to the beach that's like 2 minutes walk, everyone else is there, and it's like such an overcrowded beach that I'm just like, stop it. This is my beach. You don't live here.
Back away!
Back away! It's my sand!
Just grab a stick, just like, no! Back, you heathens! Back! Go, my crabs! Go!
They just have a helicopter cam of me just like with a massive stick like flinging it around, putting it on the news.
But I mean,
this is where you get an army of crabs.
At least, but you live there and you work odd hours, so you can probably go there when all the plebs are not crowding it up when you really want to.
Yes, I have been told by like some of my family and friends that live here that like the best time is early in the morning, but it's like, why would I do that when you could like go on the like middle of the day of a summer holiday?
Because
and just, like,
then it's not crowded.
Well, that's when you grab the crabs and stick. You know?
Yeah, that's when you get the army of crabs.
Yeah, attack my crabs.
But yeah, it's like my family has holiday condos. Is this a name for a flat?
Yeah.
In Spain, at the Mediterranean Sea, and yeah, the trick is that as long it's a little bit tricky if there are children with summer holidays involved, but yeah, for the adults without children, it's like always go there off season when the weather is already nice, but all the plebs are not crowding up the beach.
Yes.
Yeah. But I mean, like that's probably like my #1 summer vacation thing. Besides maybe just like, I mean, this also shows how much of a fucking old lady nerd I am. I'm that kind of nerd. Is that when I would visit New York, me and my uncle Chris, who's my dad's oldest brother, would go to garage sales every weekend. Like we would look through the newspaper, like the brick and mortar newspaper and Craigslist, to find estate sales and garage sales that were happening, to try to find records, because my uncle's job is that he owns a record store. And sells records online. So we would go there to find records. So we would wake up early in the morning, get a bagel from the deli, and just go to different like garage sales and stuff and try to find records. And I absolutely love it. That's why I love garage sales. You never know what weird shit you're going to find there. And it's like, I know some people probably think of that and be like, that sounds so boring. And you know what? It's as boring as you make it. Maybe you are just a child. You don't know. You could find a cool video game. I don't know. Anything can happen if you actually try to have fun.
It's funny that you mentioned that.
What's
like
next? You hate Christmas markets too? Like.
I was just gonna say, my mom's pretty much the same. Like, she is the kind of person that like loves garage sales and stuff, because it's just like, it is that mindset of like, you never know what kind of random shit you're gonna find. And I remember as a kid, I was one of those kids that are like, this is boring and tedious. But now, like, being 22, if I see like a garage sale or like like a kind of like a secondhand store, I guess, and like you just see like the random shit that people bring in, it's like, it is really just an adventure, and it is exciting in a way. So,
exactly. But yeah, so those are mine. So yeah, I think we can do the FMK, which I think this may be the worst FMK I've ever seen. So good job, Wolfhead. You achieved your goal.
I mean, it's Wolfhead.
So, codename Kids No More says, we have some pretty good FMKs in recent years of the AWKWARDCast. Now I'm going to actively come up with a really bad one.
Oh boy.
Oh, no.
Fuck, marry, kill. A bowl of macaroni and cheese. Mm-hmm. Great start. The bottom half of a genderless mannequin.
Mm-hmm.
And a microwave, but you have to hit it to get it to work. Enjoy, I guess.
Holy shit.
Yep, you came for the right episode, David.
I do have to ask, like, when we mean genderless, do we mean that it identifies as genderless, or is that there's no genitals?
No, it's
like,
just
we're not talking.
one of those mannequins.
Okay, we're not
that
talking they, them, pussy. Okay,
No.
like,
it's one of those completely androgynous ones, I would say.
Okay, so like a Barbie doll down there kind of thing.
Yeah. And I mean, it's not really that much of a stretch. Are there actually mannequins with a bulge to fill out a man's pants?
I mean, a male mannequin, I guess, because I guess you have to.
But that's the thing, it's not.
Sporting boxers.
Yeah, but it's not. It's genderless. It's just like
an
Barbie.
Androgynous bottom half.
Exactly.
So you don't even get a head.
Exactly.
But yeah, David, you get to go first because you're the guest. Yay!
Wonderful.
So a bowl.
And gets to go last this episode. Yay!
A bowl of macaroni and cheese. Bottom with half of a genderless mannequin and a microwave, but you have to hit it to make it work. Kiki.
So I guess with the microwave, I've got to ask, like, obviously I might be going too into depth here, but is it plugged in? Because if it's plugged in, you can't necessarily, fuck it, right? Because you would just get electrocuted. That's just the case, right?
I mean, the thing is that if you hit it to get it to work, maybe it'll just turn on, and if you grind against it, it's a warm sensation.
It's a warm sensation. Jesus Christ.
I mean, if you want to go with like maybe a benefit answer, maybe your balls will grow to be the size of like the sit and spins, like in that one South Park episode.
I was about to say, somebody watched South Park.
It's just like your balls are fucking popcorn. Oh my god.
I mean, you can play it safe and just kill the microwave.
I mean,
that's true. You could.
You could.
But
I mean, you have to kill one of those three.
This is your answer. This is your truth that you're living right now.
Exactly.
Right. All right. I'd say.
Denim Ninja.
Marry the mannequin. Despite me being psychotic, that would be like a psychotic thing. People would be like, that is the craziest shit I've ever seen. I feel like the mannequin would be the more easily explainable one than like a microwave or macaroni. But okay, then I'd probably, you know what? Fuck the microwave. And then
why are you fucking the microwave?
Exactly. Also,
I feel like if it's mac and cheese, it's kind of an American Pie situation. It's like I don't know. Yeah. With a microwave, you could just be like, it was just weird shit,
But keep in mind, David. Keep in mind, David, as Denim pointed out, plugged-in microwave is definitely a one-night stand.
Yeah.
You're not going to do that twice.
It'd be a one-time situation, and it'd be something that you could, like... I don't know if it'd be a story you'd want to talk about, but hey, it's there, right?
Look, here's also a great thing. Especially since it's a one-night stand. You could fuck the microwave and then re-gift the microwave to someone you don't like.
Oh my god! That would be the most evil shit. But I'm all for it. And then, kill the macaroni because... there's no definition on how you kill it. You just eat it, right? So, bon appetit. It's a nice meal afterwards.
The macaroni. Good job.
Good point, yeah.
Yeah.
And you
there you go.
And you married the mannequin because least questions, or what was it?
It would be the least questions. Okay. I feel like if it was like a bowl of macaroni or a microwave, it's like that's a story you'd have to further explain. It's like
it's fair.
I'd want people to be like, oh, well, at least it's human-like. He's psychotic still, but it's a mannequin.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, fair.
So I'm up next. So you've killed the macaroni already. You married the mannequin. You fucked the microwave. Okay. So I'm gonna marry the microwave.
You're turning it. Great. You turned it that way.
Yeah. So marrying the microwave. Look, I usually go for the gold digger answers here, but sometimes you just need to survive, and I need to eat. And look, sometimes I gotta get out a little bit of aggression. So if I can get heated up food and take out my aggression because I have to hit it to get it to work, this is just a win-win scenario. I know what you're thinking. Yes, this is what I'm implying.
Who would you prefer to marry? The one that I can physically abuse on a regular. That's my dream partner.
It's technically consensual if it's like, oh, you have to hit me for me to work.
Do work for me. Heat up my food. and I slap you, not or
And I
and.
can beat the shit out of it. It's a win-win for everyone.
But okay, you explained your reasons. We are not kink shaming here. Please explain to
No,
us
you
why you
don't-
want to sleep
look-
with a mannequin.
Look, don't kink shame the microwave. The microwave's the one that's like, hey, I'm not gonna work unless you slap me.
Oh,
And
wait.
hey, if you want to get a divorce, you could always just sell the thing. You know, like it's a win-win.
Yeah, I could sell it to you so you could fuck the microwave and give it
no.
to someone you don't
It's
like.
all coming together.
You're sleeping with mac and cheese.
Yes, I am sleeping with
Why?
mac and cheese. Look, people already say that good pussy sounds like macaroni and cheese. So I'm just,
But you are straight.
I am straight. But look, the joke only works in this way. It's hard to make straight women jokes. I'm sorry.
It's just the macusi, I get it.
it's funnier to be gay. Okay. Welcome to the fantastic world of gay sex.
I am so glad that for once a cancel-worthy statement did not come from me.
It's not cancel-worthy.
I'm pretty sure Twitter disagrees. But yeah, okay.
But no,
killing
but
a mannequin.
But no, I'm going to fuck the mac and cheese
Yes.
because I feel like, look, sometimes food is better than sex. So if it's like really fucking good mac and cheese,
Both at
then
once.
you know, yeah, exactly.
If this food happens to be better than sex, having sex with it must be the ultimate experience. I
Yes,
see where you're coming from.
exactly. There you go. And then I'm going to kill the mannequin.
Why?
Yeah.
What did it ever do to you?
Jesus.
We just established that it's the most anthropomorphic among all of them, the most anthro, and you kill it?
Exactly, and that's why I'm killing it.
Oh.
Look, let me explain.
Yes, please.
I really love how your voice broke like, oh. No, here's the thing. Look at my marriage with the microwave, right? If it's a consensual thing and I take out my aggression, but that's just a microwave. There's nothing human about it. I want to take a life.
Someone quote that.
and look, maybe I'm doing the mannequin a favor because it's already just half a person. It doesn't have a top half. It doesn't understand thought or love. There's no heart in the lower half of your body. All it understands is pain. So I'm just going to I'm just taking it out of its misery. The first half already got taken care of already. I'm just finishing the job. Also, it's not a real human life, which means I still can't get convicted for a felony yet. So I can commit actions scot-free.
I'm imagining the scenario, right, is just like you've got your cone shirt, you've got that like light silhouette, and it's just like someone from an outside perspective could see you just like stabbing this mannequin. Then you're gonna have that awkward situation when someone's like, oh shit, there's a murder, I better call the cops. And then the cops show up and just see a mannequin and they're like, look, we're not gonna arrest you, but like, are you good?
I mean, I'm sure that someone has had that happen to them filming a YouTube video or something. There has
for sure.
But yeah, where does this leave me?
So this leaves. Where does this leave you?
Okay, well, let's see. First thing, very easy. It's a malfunctioning microwave. It gets killed. You have one job, being a microwave. And I'm not here to slap you all day long. So either you work, or you go, or I take you behind the barn. So this takes care of the microwave. Then macaroni and cheese. Obviously, I would marry macaroni and cheese because we all know I don't like mac and cheese. Therefore, it's basically comedy
Just
gold.
a loveless marriage.
Yeah, exactly. It's comedy gold. It's like married with kids, like ba da 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 mac and cheese.
What, do you become Archie Bunker and just
apparently I'm just sitting there on the sofa next to me.
Yeah, with your hand in your pants.
Exactly. and next to me there's just this bowl of mac and cheese, and then you have this entire setup where everybody reacts to the bowl of cheese as if it would be a person, but it's just a bowl of mac and cheese, which is just standing there, and and it moves between shots, obviously. So, and then it's suddenly in the kitchen, and you only hear one half of the dialogue because it's a bowl of mac and cheese. It can't talk.
Max, you're not describing.
Just like to think that.
Max, you're not describing The Odd Couple. You're describing a psychological horror where someone is this like.
I mean,
this unhinged.
One person's psychological horror is another person's comedy. It's just a matter of perspective. So
I just like to think that you marry mac and cheese and you could just go around being like, my bitch wife, and people are like, oh, I'm sorry, who's your wife again? Oh, a bowl of mac and cheese. I'm sorry, what? Yeah, my bitch wife, absolute. You can't stand her.
Oh, I come home and she's waiting for me in the back room, and I'm like, whoa, what smells like cheese in here?
I like that Paleo asks, is this a singular bowl of mac and cheese? That's gonna stink after a long time. It's gonna maybe that's why you marry it, so you feel better about your own aging, because at least you're aging more gracefully than your wife, a rotting bowl of macaroni.
I mean, I have pretty high insecurities, but this is a new level. But no, it's literally that's what Wolfhead gave us, a bowl of macaroni and cheese. This is literally the option here.
So this leaves the mannequin fucking.
Yeah, obviously. So, I mean,
obviously,
we have all seen at least the first season of Umbrella Academy. If not, do it. The first season was pretty baller. And yeah, number 5 has an ongoing romantic relationship with a mannequin. In the future where he's the only living human. But still, he develops a very strong emotional attachment by having this mannequin as his only companion for literal decades. So I can relate. I have already a point of reference to get romantic with it, and I mean it's a little bit awkward, given that it's genderless and that the top half is missing. But
are you just gonna cut a slit into it? Like
that would be very rude. Also, that sounds like splinters. So, but it's like.
Wait, are you thinking the mannequin's made of wood?
I don't know. Some of them are.
I was thinking plastic this entire time.
Yeah, so was I.
Still okay, not splinters, but hard plastic edges. No, I have to be a little bit creative to make it worse in a. But even better than it's like smooth plastic. So to rub, I guess.
Hey, Wolfhead, I have a question relating to this. Does the mannequin's lower half still have legs, or is it just like?
Of course,
that's what I was thinking.
Jesus, what are you? What? The mannequin already doesn't have an upper half. Now you're taking the lower half away as well. Jesus, woman, that's getting really.
I have seen mannequins that are only like the top part of the thighs, the pelvis, and like the stomach. So, like
legs.
Yeah, just depends on how close together the legs are. Oh, mannequin thigh job sounds so painful. All I can imagine is the squeaky noise of just.
That's awful.
Oh, that's awkward. That's what that is.
A and Y and Key say hi to the people in the chat. The memes are seen on this live stream as they talk about random grabs. Time for awkward guests. It's the awkward. Random guests and funny gags on the awkward guests. It's the awkward. Artwork and analysis which you do not want to miss on awkward.